Hello, we are going to be showing Alien Isolation, which is a great example of stealth horror survival game. We have your lone enemy creature stalking you. It has an excellent creature reveal here at the beginning. Has awesome mechanics, excellent level layout. You should definitely play this game. I'm sure it's on sale or cheap everywhere now. It's worth your time, although it's really slow and takes a long time to play. But let me load up the current save. And let's play and listen to the dialogue at the beginning here.
Tragic cases. Far from the rhythms of Earth, sunrise, sunset, the mind has a tendency to wander. Tragic cases. But Morley wasted far too much time on coddling them. They should never have come here. None of us should. This place had such promise when I first came here. It's a tragedy. A waste of my talents.
Alright, so here we are in the space station. Perfect recreation of the 1979 movie. Ooh, glowing object.
Don't take kindly to be left out of the loop, Morley. You hear me? I tried to use the dispensary today and found I was locked out. I can't possibly be expected to carry out my duties if you and Lingard cut my access privileges. I had patients who will relapse without that medication, particularly when things on the station are so precarious. I will not see patient care suffer. Consider this a full ruin. And for the record, I do not have a problem. Coleman out.
Okay, so there's a great way to add to your stealth horror level audio logs, which were made infamous by System Shock, BioShock. I'm going to turn down the audio again so the game doesn't kill off me speaking. So as we start, this is our save file. This is your save points in Alien Isolation, which makes it extremely terrifying because you have to replay a lot of sections and die over and over again. I am currently crawling around. If I stand up, you can tell now I am walking normally. So my mission is to get to Dr. Morley's office. And here's my map, pointing me in the general area. The map in Alien Isolation is your best friend. You're constantly looking at it, pausing, planning strategy, taking a break because you know the alien's hot on your tail. So I'm going to head to this general area and see what happens. I can go over the mechanics of the player later, but again, we're doing level design. I don't want to get into a ton of player mechanics, special models. We're talking over each other now, the in-game audio and me. So if we look at our cache of supplies here, we have flares. We have a revolver, which is useless against the alien. You can use it against other humans that you encounter. And you can use it against the AI, which I think they call average Joes. Creepy, white-eyed robots that will attack you. Medkit. Impulse Mind, which will disable the robots. Flashbang, which will blind enemies. I'm not sure how much it does to the alien. Noisemaker, which will distract the alien, send him to an area, and a flare, which will distract the alien. So this is my destination here. Oh, and there's a mini game. I forgot all about this. There we go. Now I have to match the symbols using my arrow keys. I'm out of practice. I'm probably going to fail. Yeah. Nice little mini game. Those get more complicated.
You're there. That's Morley's office. The passcode should be in there somewhere.
And there's no door lock on here, which is not cool. So in this game, we're going to be locking doors, trying to avoid the alien. The alien gets around these locked doors by going into the vents, coming down in other vents. Where are the hiding spots in here? Hiding spots under the desk, which feels really good in this game. If the alien was to walk through that door right now, you feel pretty terrified. You probably would see if you were sitting under this and walked in. You're too exposed. So the alien relies heavily on line of sight and movement. It sees movement. It doesn't see, actually, not line of sight. It doesn't see very well visually, so you have to hide in the shadows and such. You're just out exposed and you're... Let's take the flare. Oh, maxed out. So now we're going to access the terminal. So as I was saying, the alien relies on movement to find you. He will see you, hit your outline if you're just standing there. You can get away with walking right by one or letting him walk by you if you're in the shadows. It could be pretty terrifying though. And he will, if you do the same thing over again, like stay in the same lockers, stay under desks, he will start searching those areas. So you have to vary your patterns, which makes it really intense. So let's get to seeing our alien. Access terminal. And this is another really cool way to accent your missions. And I apologize for the windowed mode, but the only way for me to record this properly is put the game in windowed mode, which distorts it a little bit, but I think you guys can handle that.
Have you found the passcode? Look, we'll need the physical keycard too. Morley always kept it on him. Find him.
Aha, passcode 1702.
Warning. Medical facility quarantine breach detected. Warning.
Relax.
Medical
I'm
facility
just trying to find out what that is. You focus on finding that keycard.
Shit.
Oh, now we have red lights flashing. Objective updated. Good thing to note, being the mission designer, level designer, you've got to pay attention to that. When to update the missions, thinking about the flow, the player, the level, when they should know when these things are happening. So now I go back to my map. Aha! Here I am. And it says... I have to go down here to find Dr. Morley's keycard. As you can tell by the level layout, this is pretty early in the game, so you're going to encounter the alien pretty early, so it's definitely worth playing. If you can't handle all the tension and slow pacing of the game, it's still worth playing to at least get through the first few sections, because this is one of the toughest sections I've encountered. You don't have weapons, you have a few distraction tools, but it's just really tough to get to this part. So I may die a few times, but I'm at least going to get to the point where we see the alien, see him walking around, get to the intro, and just look at the general level layout. And we're pretty much going to stay within this area and in here and try and enter this door before he captures us. So here we go. Oh, yo. There he is. Whoa! See him through those windows? Where's he going? Went that way. I'm going this way. I'm currently terrified, thinking he's right behind me, even though I've played this game 20 times. So now I'm going to go hide in here. Take a deep breath. So that reveal of the enemy was awesome. So it's obviously triggered by a trigger volume. You walk up those stairs, no matter what, you have to go down that path. Oh, here he comes. You can hear him thumping behind his footprints, and that door is open. Or there may not even be a door there, so I can peek out and look. You can hear him walking. Oh boy. Going to bring up my map now, which pauses the game, which I said you use a ton in this game. So, as you can see by the scale of this, all I've done was walk from, where did I start? Here or here? I think oh, there it is, the save file. Started here, walked down here. I knew it was safe to walk down here, but I still crept down in the first. You can do almost anything here and the alien won't come out. Come down here, get my passcode. Tells me the alien is, or it doesn't say alien, but there's a break-in or contamination of the area. I come back out, and not till I get to the stairs, which I believe are right here. We get to the stairs, it is triggered right about here. There's a table here I can hide under. I hide under the table. The first time I played it, I ran up here. He came out of the van, so I ran back to this room here and peeked around the corner to watch him reveal himself. But it's way cooler to be under that table. So he comes out and he starts his pattern. And no, the pattern's not the same every time. Sometimes he goes in this room. Sometimes he goes over here and turns around. Sometimes he goes down. I think he can go through this hallway. But there are a few different random things he will do. That one was pretty easy to get to this door and open the code. I remember replaying it a whole bunch of times just to see the variety of alien behavior, and it being pretty difficult to get over here. I remember being caught like, oh man, at least 10 times. You know, I just happened to run into him, and when we looked through the window here, we saw him, which was great, and we saw him go down this hall or into this room, which gave me a shot to get to this door. But I just remember walking around here and him kept coming through this room and through this door. Got caught like 4 or 5 times. And the first few times you get caught, it's pretty terrifying. And even now that I've played it a whole bunch of times, I come down here and you can hear his footsteps. It's pretty creepy. So you can see the scale of this is pretty small. We've already done a lot of cool stuff just by the pacing of opening the terminal, hearing the dialogue. We only hear dialogue once here, once here. That's the second time. You get here, third time when you enter, fourth time once you get the passcode. You get a warning, which I'll count in the fourth. You come out and then it's quiet, quiet, quiet. You hit this trigger volume, alien reveals itself. You now have to figure out how to get over here to the door, unlock the code. And now it's just you and the alien trying to find, and as you noticed, I open this door and then it points me in the general area here to advance farther. Go find the key card. So they give you, sometimes they give you very specific points to go to, and other times they give you broad areas. There may be 3 or 4 rooms in here or hallways. So it's really well done. Let's watch the alien some more. Oh, he walked away. So sometimes you'll actually pause. Let's use our motion detector. Says he's right behind me, which means he might be in the vents. So we can also go in these lockers. The more you use this, so I already forgot which way to go. The more you use your motion tracker, the more he can hear you. So you have to use it quickly, put it down. If you use it in the locker under the tables, he'll hear you. So it is a pretty intense game. The farther I got along, and once you get a flamethrower and a stun grenade, it became a little more action oriented. I felt like I could shoot him with flames and get away, shoot him with, use different techniques to get away. It got a little more action oriented just because I got used to it. But early on, it's just really tense. And even if you can't get past that tense part and get used to shooting him with a flamethrower, It may just stay tense. A lot of people didn't finish the game because it's so ploddingly slow at times, and you never seem to catch a break. There's a few areas here and there where you can just move about knowing that the alien's not around, but not too many. So let's see if I can get to this next area. Oh, I went the wrong way. Nice going, dude. Says you're over there. Oh, we just went through that door. Door closed! Oh, nice skull. Sunglasses on the desk. Nice touch. So if he was to come in here, I think I'd be doomed. He'd see me under that desk. Which way do I need to go? I need to come out and go left. So this is a great little point here. I'm going to pause this. See these flashing letters? So on that board, it gives me clues. I missed that whiteboard multiple times when I did my early playthroughs, and that gives you the clues to which room it possibly could be. So you have to pay attention to those rooms, because as you advance and go to the next area, it's a big open circle or a semicircle of rooms on the right and left, and if you don't know which rooms to look in, you're pretty much just searching every one and taking forever, which adds an enormous amount of tension, but it's still fun. So let's look at the numbers and hide quickly.
Morley.
A26, C21, A29. And where is he going to come from? Oh, now I have to go up here. Map updated. How do I get there? Let's see if there's a hallway here. Aha! Now I need to find a save point. So this is the save point here. But as you can see, if I die now, I'm starting all the way back here and having to do the whole thing over again. So let us safely get to this area. I'm going to hide in here. Check. Whoa! Here he comes. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, that was close. Woohoo! Tense, tense, tense. Another pause. So he went back out this door. I don't know if he went left or right. I'm going to check my motion tracker. So he is emerging from the vents, which are on the side of the walls as well as the top of the ceiling. So you have to be careful walking under vents that have slime coming out of it, and he'll immediately get you. He can also come out of the side vents. You always are checking your motion tracker. It's the only way to really know where he is. And sometimes he'll stop in the middle of the hall and your motion tracker won't work. So you'll think he's gone and you'll walk around the corner and whoa! There he is. So the focus for this game is really on the level layout, how slow it works, and how they're positioning the creature. So I started here, walked down here with impunity, got my clues, came back, had to run into the reveal. This is my reveal right here under the stretcher, or I could have ran back into this room, but I could easily see him at any point. The player could have ignored the whole thing and ran for his life. and never seen him come out, which is the player's choice. So I'd recommend as you're doing your level layout, I'm thinking let the player sit there and watch it happen, better in game, but maybe it starts with a quick IGC so they're focused on that area, and then go back to gameplay and let the rest of the enemy reveal or creature reveal happen. At this point, I can easily see his path, at least initially. He goes through here. I have my motion tracker to track him. I don't know if you have a motion tracker in your game. You just rely on visuals. We snuck through here. I saw him through the window. I knew he was either going to go this way or this way. He went through this door. I went here, hit the code lock, advanced, checked my motion tracker multiple times. For our levels, you probably at this point would want to cheat. You probably would open the door, have your alien on a pattern in here, moving from here to here to here to here, and this force the player to unlock this door. Walks through this area. Maybe you hit a trigger volume here, here, because this is the main path. You go to here, and then you come back and go around. And then teleport your alien to here and disguise it as it came through the vents. And again, if you don't know how it's moving, you probably want to tell the player at this point how it's moving through it. You want to show an IGC of the vents, it coming out of the vents, which you do initially here on the first reveal, but it's a ceiling vent, so some of those side vents, maybe you have a trigger here, and you show it emerge from a side vent where the player knows where he is, but he's undercover. So maybe you see him reveal from a side vent here, walk through this door, you're here terrified, you come back to gameplay, he's walked, you don't know where he's walked, he came through here, and now you put your enemy on a pattern. He's going back and forth and into this room and back, and the player is advancing and hearing him move. You have audio attached to this alien moving. It could be a slobbering sound, or a footsteps and slobbering, duk, duk, duk. And if it's located on the creature, and this creature could be nothing more than a movable static mesh on an animated pattern back and forth, and let the player move to the points. And I would force the player at this point to come into this room, look at the whiteboard. She has the audio of her speaking to herself. You look at the whiteboard. You know he's moving in a pattern back here. You come over here. You go back to this. Maybe he switches patterns now. Now he's moving up and down this hall. The player comes over here. You can see him. He runs to this room, hides, waits for him to go by, runs back out, heads to this area. So we're going to control. We're not going to have sophisticated AI in our levels. As a completely different class, it's a completely different expertise. And yes, you can take the time to work on stuff like that, but in this class we have to focus on the mission and the level layout. Player path, beautiful block mesh, engaging gameplay. In real life, would you have an audio guy helping with your audio? Yes, but we don't have that. You guys need to make a portfolio. So you need to find good audio. You need to make an alien that has some resemblance of a scary alien. No, you don't have to be a modeling master or an artist or a character modeler. You need to just figure out an interesting simple block mesh with a simple texture, lighting to make this creature sound scary, look scary, or at least be interesting. So I don't want you to get into modeling if you're not a modeler, if you're not an environment artist, character modeler. I'm going to say that a lot, and you can't download assets. It just doesn't work. People go crazy, download all the free Unreal assets, and their levels look terrible. It takes a lot of work and skill to make downloadable assets look good. Even though they look good individually, doesn't mean your level's going to look good. So I want you guys to rely on block out, brushes, turning those brushes into static mesh, simple textures with no UVing. Please, no UVing. Only if you're a really good environment artist do you get to UV. So let's go back to the game. He's wandering about here. I don't know where he is. So, but in our world, I would have had, at this point, force the player in here, have another trigger, and exactly what happened to me, I would have happen in your levels. I would hit a trigger in here. I would have forced the player in here to listen to an audio recording, or read some interesting information, found a clue. Maybe it's a flare. Maybe it's a piece of a tool you need to get to the next door. I would have had the alien come in here, circle, circle, and then leave, and then put it on his next patrol pattern. Whether it's up and down this hall, or maybe it's not until we get into this area, so you let the player breathe easy and walk through here. All right, let's walk through and see how far I get. Oh. So he's in the vents right now. That's the side vents, which are scary. Whoa, he's out there patrolling. Alright, now we're in the locker, which is truly one of the more... I just heard something open or close. And I'm not sure if that was the door closing on its own. I'm going to check my scanner. Oh, we can't see it because of my windowed mode. That stinks. Alright, we're going for it. Ugh. Oh, and I got the key card. Well, that was a lucky guess. Update objective. Nice. Pluto, number 5. Is that what it's called? Something energy drink. Oh, it's moving around. So that banging sound is definitely in the vents. Alright, so this is grim. We have guys dead over here. I'm going to search this guy. And now I'm going to hide under here and analyze where I am. Alright, so lucky first guess. I went here. I'd played it before, but I knew it was in this section. Like I said, the clues were from that whiteboard, which was over here. And there's audio from her saying, I can't remember what she said. She said something about, I need to go search these rooms or something like that. So it was one of these, and A29 was mentioned. So there's a room over here mentioned. I think there's another room over here mentioned. So I got lucky, found it. I kind of partially remembered it was on this side. But you basically had to randomly search this. So the best way for us to control our enemy and our level design, again, is to have triggered events, force the player to go a certain way, or if it's random, you want them to come into this semicircle area. He can go this way or this way, she can go this way or this way. If they hit a trigger here, you have something happen. If you hit a trigger here, something happens. Maybe if you go here, you have a trigger go off and it emerges from this hall. They have to hide. And you're asking, how do I make the enemy deadly? Like, how does it kill me? So what we're going to do is design an enemy that basically has, you could have its eyesight be visible. You would have its face and its eyes be a vision cone. And when that vision cone touches the player, the simplest thing would be instant death. And you just reset the level and they lose. Or you would have an event that would trigger an IGC and then go back to main menu or just reset the level. So we're going to have an event attached to their eye vision cone. That eye vision cone can be invisible. or it could be visible for the player. And the only way to determine if it's visible or invisible is to play the game and see if the player gets it. They're walking around. Is it too difficult to know where the alien can see or not? If you need to make the vision cone big so it's compelling and scary and threatening, then the player may not realize it saw him. And also the player might get into areas they think, oh, I'm hidden, but really it caught a glimpse of them and they lose. So having the players set up so they see it might be a good idea. It's just a big see-through red vision cone or glowing blue if your creature enemy is a synthetic AI evil robot, something like that. So that's the best way to go. And the only way to know how to do that is to test it, run through the level, have other people play it, and see if they get when the alien sees them, when it captures them. If you want to apply damage and have it kill your player, I would highly recommend that it kills them very quickly, because creating a stealth horror game, the player can easily cheat and run through the level and escape these things. That's why in Alien it's not just relying on the AI of the alien. As you go through this and you replay this game, you'll see that no matter what I do in this area, the alien's going to appear over here. No matter what I do over here, he's going to be in this area. Yes, he has random behavior where he gets to certain points on his patrol path, and sometimes he'll leave, sometimes he'll backtrack, sometimes he'll look under desks. So there is some randomness, but as the player advances, there's definitely triggers. They hit a trigger, and they change the enemy, the alien behavior. They spawn him closer to the player. They may spawn an IGC of it attacking, an in-game character. They control every step of the way, and only small sections are randomly planned. You don't know how difficult this section is because the alien may be hitting his patrol points, and you may walk through it the first time and he just advances all the way through here and back. Super simple for you to walk through here and never encounter him. Other playthroughs, he may be coming here, hitting a patrol point, turning around, going in this room, turning around, going here, turning around, going here, turning around here, going in an event, coming back out an event. So you may get some randomness in different areas, and you can rely on that for a game, but having everything be random is impossible. You really do have to control the player experience to a certain degree. So I would highly recommend doing something. The scale of this is more than adequate for what we're going to do in 3 weeks. So just this section alone, through here, and maybe up to here, I wouldn't even include this area. This is too big. So for our level, if you're going to create something similar to this, and no, you do need to vary it from what we see here, but if you try and copy this, please feel free to do so. But you just need to make your own environment. You need to make your own player path and just vary it up. You could even make an alien creature similar, It's been done a million times. Everybody since 1979 has copied the alien and never done it as well. But the scale from the beginning to the initial console, getting the code, coming back here, opening this door, and then maybe getting to this section with the whiteboard in this room, that is plenty of gameplay. And I mean plenty. So I wouldn't even make it, I might even cut more of it. I might even it's really only this section here. From here to here to here, and maybe one room, that is your complete level for 3 weeks of work. If you're going to take the time to make your level look interesting, have some lighting, have some events, that is all you can do. You cannot include this section. You cannot include all these alternate paths. You cannot include all these alternate rooms. You can have doors there, but I would not let the player roam in and out. If you make your level modular, obviously this room is the same as this room. These rooms are all the same. It certainly can simplify things, but when you're putting in the mission and testing your movement of your enemy, it's going to take way too much time. So from the start to the console, back to this main area, and maybe one alternate path here is all you need. So I would put the whiteboard here, I would have a hiding room here, and I would send the player, down the final path here but this would be it. I don't think you could do any more in 3 weeks. At least to get the quality we want. Alright, so let me just play a little bit more, and then we will call it a video day. Looks like he's in the hall. Let's see if I get caught. Let's go out in a blaze of glory, shall we? Any vents in here? I don't see any vents. See if I can make some noise. Oops, that's how you build new noise makers. Well, the noises are attractive. Alright, that's the end of my video. The noise maker did attract him. I thought that door might lock. I am completely wrong. Alright, hopefully that's a good starting point for a stealth alien creature walkthrough. And we will look at another level here soon. I'm going to figure out which one I want to do. It's not the alien one, maybe one more. Alright, bye-bye.